An adjective is a describing word. It tells you more about a noun. An adjective usually appears before the noun it describes. Sometimes, though, the adjective appears after the noun, later in the sentence. An adjective that ends in less is the opposite of the same adjective that ends in full. For example, careful, careless, useful, useless, colorful, colorless, harmful, harmless. The full ending means having a lot of something. For example, painful equals having a lot of pain, hopeful equals having a lot of hope. The less ending means without. For example, leafless equals without leaves, sleeveless equals without sleeves. Adjectives have different endings. Some adjectives end in full or less. A beautiful dress, a careless driver, a faithful dog, a harmless insect, a useful tool. Some adjectives end in y. A muddy path. A stormy sea. A cunning fox. Dazzling sunshine. An expensive necklace. Talkative pupils. Some adjectives end in ive. Some adjectives end in ing. A dirty street, a noisy room, an oily pot, a sleepy passenger, a sunny day. An active child, an attractive hat, a creative toy. A caring nurse, an interesting book, loving parents, matching clothes, a smiling face. Some adjectives end in ly. A daily newspaper. A broken chair. Many adverbs also end in ly. A friendly police officer. A costly diamond ring, an elderly woman, lively kittens, a lonely boy. A lovely girl, a weekly magazine. Here are some adjectives with the endings able, al, n, ible, ish and us. A poisonous snake. A famous pop singer. Childish behavior. A national costume. A comfortable chair. A musical instrument. A dangerous place. A terrible mess. A foolish act. A woolen sweater. A horrible smell. A wooden table. A lovable koala. A cold drink. A loud crash. An ugly monster. A fierce dog. A hot bun. A beautiful rainbow. A clever monkey. A difficult question. Happy children. A kind lady. A new car. An old house. A pretty girl. A rich family. A sad story. A strong man. A wicked queen. Kinds of adjectives. There are different kinds of adjectives. Some adjectives describe the qualities of nouns. Some adjectives tell you which place or country a person or thing comes from, or belongs to. They are called adjectives of origin. A Mexican hat. An Indian temple, Chinese kung fu. Dutch clogs. A Filipino shirt. Australian apples. A Balinese dancer. The English language. The French flag. An Italian car. A Japanese garden. A Scottish kilt. Thai boxing. Some adjectives tell you the color of things. Your hands are black. Please get me some white paint. The sea is blue. George is wearing brown shoes. I don't like green apples. Carrots are orange. Flamingos are pink. Eggplants are purple. Roses are red. The sky is gray. Some adjectives tell you the size of the nouns they describe. A fat sumo wrestler. A short man. A thin boy. A huge balloon. A big hat. Broad shoulders. A high mountain. A large ship. A long bridge. A low ceiling. A narrow path. Small animals. Tiny insects. A wide street. The word tall describes people and narrow, upright objects. For example, you can say, a tall girl, a tall bookcase. The word high describes bigger or wider objects that reach a great height. For example, you can say, a high mountain, a high wall. Numbers are adjectives, too. They tell you how many people, animals, or things there are. Sometimes they are called adjectives of quantity. 11 hens, 15 frogs, 19 lizards, 12 geese, 16 snails, 20 butterflies, 13 birds, 14 mice, 18 ants. 1 giant. 2 princes, 3 princesses. 4 mermaids, 5 witches. 6 fairies. 7 elves. 8 puppets. 9 dwarfs. 10 angels. Other adjectives tell you something about quantity without giving you the exact number. A few cups. A few puppies. A lot of books. Some soldiers. Adjectives that tell you about quantity are also called quantifying determiners. A little ice cream. A little rice. Not many people. Too much salt. Lots of insects. Plenty of money. Some food. Is there any milk? Comparison of adjectives: fast, faster, small, smaller. When you compare two people or things, use the comparative form of the adjective. Lots of comparative adjectives end in er. The word then is often used with comparative adjectives. For example, you might say, Jack is taller than John. A sports car is faster than a motorbike. Bright, brighter, cheap, cheaper, clear, clearer, loud, louder, new, newer, old, older, rich, richer, short, shorter, tall, taller, slow, slower, thick, thicker. Use the superlative form of an adjective to compare three or more nouns. Lots of superlatives end in est. You often add the before the superlative form. For example, you say, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Peter is the tallest boy in his class. Long longer longest thick thicker thickest clean cleaner cleanest easy easier easiest fat fatter fattest flat flatter flattest heavy heavier heaviest hot hotter hottest narrow narrower narrowest noisy noisier noisiest simple simpler simplest thin thinner thinnest wet wetter wettest with adjectives that end in e, add r to form the comparative, and st to form the superlative. Some adjectives have only one syllable, end with a consonant, and have a single vowel before the consonant. With these adjectives, double the last letter before adding er to form the comparative, and est to form the superlative. For example, big bigger biggest dim dimmer dimmest mad madder maddest. Some adjectives have two syllables and end in y. With these adjectives change the y to I. Then add er to form the comparative, and est to form the superlative. For example, comparative superlative busy busier busiest dirty dirtier dirtiest happy happier happiest pretty prettier prettiest. Adjectives that form their comparative and superlative with more and most are usually adjectives with two or more syllables, or sounds. For example, active expensive beautiful famous charming, fortunate, cheerful intelligent comfortably, powerful, delicious valuably. With some adjectives, you use more to make the comparative form, and most to make the superlative form. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful, active, more active, most active, charming more charming, most charming, cheerful, more cheerful, most cheerful, comfortable, more comfortable, most comfortable, delicious, more delicious, most delicious. The comparative and superlative forms of some adjectives are completely different words. Good better best. Bad worse worst. Few less least. Many more most. Much more most. Little less least. With these adjectives, you don't add er or more to form the comparative, or est or most to form the superlative.